Hello everyone, this is Pooja training Wali from Rehan AI Teachers Training Level 2, also a co-facilitator at Rehan School Online Academy. I welcome you all to my Task to Success show where we meet with different personalities and so today we have been joined by a very special guest and her name is Jennifer Stoudt and she is from Texas. Also, a author, speaker, educator, Doula, Guinness World Record Holder, and also a founder of Interwoven Therapeutic. So let's warm welcome to my today's guest. And I am very thankful to you, Jennifer, that you accepted my invitation and gave me an opportunity to know much more about you. So, hello, how are you?
Hello, thank you so much for having me and my daughter in the background. She woke up
No,
at an
no issue.
inconvenient time, but she is excited to participate. Yeah, so I am grateful to be here and to have this conversation with you and with your audience.
Yeah, Jennifer, I can understand your situation because I am also a mother of a son.
Yeah, kids wake up when they want to wake up and they make the sounds they want to
Yeah,
make when they want to make them. You learn a lot in motherhood.
yeah,
Hopefully, it helps you grow and be a better person.
yeah. Okay, so could you please introduce yourself so that our audience can know much more about you?
Sure. My name is Jennifer Stoudt. I am a wife and mother of five, stepmom to one. Professionally, I am a massage therapist, a birth doula, which is like a woman helper during the pregnancy, labor, and postpartum stage. So I help give emotional, educational, and physical support during labor itself, as well as help lead up to it as well, and then after as well. I'm also an author, as you stated. My children's book, The Song of My Heartbeat, it just came out June 1st. And I am a contributing author in Legacy and Ink, which is a Guinness World Record holding book, as well as I just found out recently. I'm not sure if it's on Amazon. It's probably through Amazon, but it's an international bestseller. So that was a really fun piece of information to find out recently. So I do a lot of things. I love doing a lot of things. It keeps me busy, but I don't feel overwhelmed because I don't put all of my eggs in one basket. So, um, yeah, just one day at a time.
Yeah, that's great. Nice to know about you. Can you tell me your age? How much old you are?
Yeah, I'll be 39 this year. So I've been a
Okay,
massage therapist for 16 years. I graduated massage school in 2010, which is the same year I got married. And then I became a birth doula 9 years ago, 8, 9 years ago. And my first birth was
okay,
my nephew. So that was the first birth that I got to doula. So that was really special.
okay, that's great. Okay, so Jennifer, you wear many hats like author, educator, speaker, massage therapist, and doula. So, which role has shaped you the most and why?
Definitely wife and mother. I was just thinking about this recently, just this last week. I was talking with somebody and made the comment that getting married teaches you how selfish you are, and having
Yeah,
kids teaches you how much you expect others to serve you. And man, if that isn't true in the things that I've seen and experienced, not only in my own life, but in the lives of people that I've connected with over the years. And if you allow it to change you and shape you, you can be less selfish and more servant minded. And when you
yeah,
become more servant minded, that changes how you operate through other aspects of your life. Um, and so those I've become a better version of myself with every child I've had because I've learned more about myself and how to be patient when I don't feel like I have any patience left. How do I regulate myself and model that for my children when I feel overwhelmed and stressed out and I just want to scream at me, at you. I don't know. I just want to scream. um, so allowing myself to practice the things that I believe in my own life so that I can speak from a place of authenticity when I'm talking to my clients or other people that um, are seeking wisdom from me, because my husband and I are very involved in our church, and we are involved in church groups, and so it's not uncommon for God to bring someone in my life that I'm just supposed to speak some type of life uh, into them. And so the ability to want to do that from a mother's heart, well, you're someone else's kid. So if I can build you up, well, I would want someone else to build up my kid. So of course I'm going to do that. Like it changes the way that I have interacted with people, because everyone is someone's kid. And as a mother, it changes your ability to have compassion. It doesn't mean that you have to ignore bad behavior. You know, like in our kids, we don't have to ignore bad behavior, but it doesn't change our love for them in that process, and that love is correction at times.
Okay, so Jennifer, you have 5 kids, and you have also other projects to do. So how you balance all these things?
Well, I was in a wonderful opportunity to go to a fantastic massage school, and one of the things that they taught us was to evaluate the life work balance, to evaluate what those boundaries for each individual person is. So we got the benefit of going through that process and learning a lot of those skills when I was in school. So I had the ability to think through those things very deeply before I was in a position where I had kids. So I've been able to adapt each time I've had a kid. How long have I been on maternity leave? What have I needed? You know, one of my kids, I was on bed rest prior to uh, delivery. And so I couldn't work. That was a monkey wrench.
Yeah,
And so the ability to just be flexible with my need with each individual child. I also intentionally have never worked more than 4 days a week. I never wanted to work 40 hours a week as a mom. That was important to me, to have mother be the most important job I have after wife. And so having the correct balance of priorities, and then being able to balance the time around those priorities instead of the inverse of that, I think has helped greatly. And you have to be able to ask yourself the question before you can answer it. You know, if you don't ask yourself how to have better work-life balance, you're not going to have work-life balance. You
yeah,
have to evaluate things before you're able to
exactly.
create change. And it's, you can't expect a different picture when you're painting the same old one.
Yeah, I agree with your point. One should evaluate their values. Okay, so Jennifer, when I visited your profile, I came to know that you're also a Genius World Record Holder. So, can you please tell me something about this journey?
Yeah, my oldest brother, so I'm the youngest of four siblings, and my oldest brother invited me to participate in this event. And at first, I didn't think I was going to be able to do it. I told him, I don't think I can do that. And he, a couple of months, well, maybe a month later, he was like, hey, there's this detail and that detail that have shifted now. And so I was like, okay, well, that makes it a little easier. He's like, come write a book with me. And I was like, all right, twist my arm, why don't you? My siblings and I are very close. And so it was a wonderful opportunity to see my brother. And that was honestly the biggest pull for me, was that I just really wanted to see my brother and spend some time with him. And going there was just fantastic. It was in Philadelphia, May 30th. There was 142 authors that came together to sign Legacy in Ink, which we all contributed to. And we came together and signed wherever we, wanted to sign in each other's books. But then there was also this, Guinness World Record guy who, it was the most number of authors coming together signing a book simultaneously. That's our Guinness World Record. But I don't know if you can see, but that's my name. Like, I'm in
Yeah.
this is me. So this was the first book that technically of mine ever came out, because it came out about a week before my
That's great.
children's book. So it's been a really interesting couple of months, having not one but two books that have come out that have my name on it. It's been pretty surreal. But I'm just very, very grateful for the opportunity to have gone to Philadelphia and to see my brother. Hold on just a second.
Yeah,
She dropped
amazing.
her breakfast.
Nice to know about your this journey. Okay. Okay, Jennifer, so you are also the founder of Interwoven Therapeutic. So can you tell me what inspired you to establish this career and what is its mission?
Yeah, well, I became a massage therapist originally because my mom was in a lot of pain, and I saw her in pain, and she would ask me to help rub her feet, and I could give her relief that she didn't seem to find in other avenues of pain relief. And so she really encouraged me that I have a talent for this, and that I could do really great things, not only for my career, but in service of others. And so I I found that appealing. And so it's okay. So I became a massage therapist after I met my husband and realized, we want to start a family, and I don't want to work full time. So I need to have that set in place now. 3 weeks later, I started massage school. So once you know what your goals are, it's a lot easier to move towards them, instead of just mindlessly, aimlessly walking through life. Like, it's helpful to have goals, and know what you want and why you want those things, so that you can aim for it. So that's how I became a massage therapist. I went to work for a treatment massage clinic that we did primarily insurance billing, so billing through your medical insurance. I was there for 7 years, loved that job, but I felt like I got stagnant, like I was doing the same massage every session, or roughly the same massage every session. And so I just felt like I stopped growing, and I didn't like that. So I became a doula and went out on my own and started my own company. And it was previously a different name. I previously had the name Be Well. And about a year ago, I rebranded to Interwoven Therapeutic, because Be Well just didn't feel, the full name was Be Well Doula and Massage, but that wasn't everything I was doing. And it didn't feel like it was able to encompass everything well. And so I rebranded to Interwoven Therapeutic, because we are interwoven people. We are not just mind, we are not just body, and we are not just spirit. We are all three. And I want to see the whole person and address the whole person in front of me, and not just look at their symptoms and what they're saying. I want to be able to look at their symptoms, hear what they're saying, and then trust my intuition. My intuition is subconsciously seeing that I don't know what I'm seeing. But like yesterday, I had a new client. We went through all the things, and I said, okay, I feel drawn to this area. And it was like the under armpit area. It's not a normal place that I work on. A lot of people first visit, but that was where I was drawn to work on him. And that was where he found the most relief in the session. And he's like, wow, that motion in my shoulder it doesn't hurt anymore. Well, I love my job. That's why I trust my intuition. So I take all of those into consideration. So Interwoven felt more
You
authentic.
can take your daughter here.
It's okay.
No
She's
matter.
just so grumpy, but in the morning, she's fine. She wants me to hold her and nurse her and pretend that no one else is in the world, and that's just not reality. But hold on, I'll bring her down. Okay.
You can
So
always.
that's how I got my company name, and how I have adjusted kind of my framework of my company. I'm not just a doula, and I'm not just a massage therapist. I have a lot of things that I do now with teaching and speaking and authorship. And so the ability to expand in whatever direction that ends up being, I felt like Interwoven was the best place for
Yeah.
that to feel authentic.
Okay. Nice to know that you really love your job, and one should also
I
Love.
do. I very much do. Hi, Lori. You want to say hi?
Hello.
She doesn't.
What's her name? I forget it.
Lori. I call her
Lori.
Lori Bird. Little Lori
Hello,
Bird.
Lori. Hello, Lori. You don't have
She's so
hair?
tired. No, she's just got a little bit. It's all
Little
my
bit.
kids end up having like lots of locks, but it takes a couple years. It's that.
Okay.
And she
Okay, so
won't keep
Jenny,
like headbands on either. It's a little annoying.
she don't keep.
Like bows, like to put around her head, she'll rip them right off. She doesn't want anything on her head. If I put a hair tie, she'll
Yes,
rip it out of her hair.
yes, children don't wear, but we mothers like to put the. Yeah,
They won't know until they have their own kids.
yeah. Okay. Okay, so let's move again towards our topic. So, Jennifer, you are also connected with Birth Art International. So, what inspired you to become a doula, and how has that experience impact your life?
Well, Birth Arts International is who I've taken my childbirth education course through. That is where I have taken my continuing education for, not continuing education because it's not continuing. I've taken a certifying course that I have, just two little things that I have to finish, and I get my certification to be a childbirth educator. So then when I teach my labor classes, I can teach all of the different educational points of what happens in pregnancy. What are the different stages of what's happening with your baby? I mean, that's literally how the song of my heartbeat kind of came together, is it's fetal development in different stages through a story that helps you feel connected to the stages, where it's not just so scientific. But yeah, so teaching the different parts of childbirth and pregnancy and postpartum that a lot of people don't think about. Coming from the massage therapist perspective, I have a unique ability to communicate what I want them to be feeling, what I want them to be noticing. And other doulas can do that, other educators can do that. But unless they have 16 years of experience working on bodies, I have just a depth of adjectives and pictures to describe what I want them to see in their head when they're feeling in their body. So I think that it gives me a wonderful difference of how I come at the childbirth education piece that maybe a lot of other people don't have because they haven't had the bodywork experience that I've had. There are a lot of massage therapists who become doulas. It is a pretty common dual role, but I've just had a very unique experience that I'm extremely grateful for, that's brought me to where I'm at now.
Okay. Okay, so as a massage therapist, how do you see the connection between physical wellness and mental health?
Well, I think that they're intrinsically connected. I don't think that you can separate them out. I think that when we ignore things in our mental psychological state, then it will affect us physiologically. It's been clearly indicated that there is some type of physiological connection between our thoughts and our emotions and our physiological state. We don't exactly know what that is from a scientific standpoint. They don't have a clear picture of what that is. I Anecdotally, from my experiences, I believe that if we do not deal with the things that we're feeling, our body will manifest negatively what we are not willing to process cognitively. So if we're not willing to have the conscious conversation with ourselves about, I'm angry at the world, or I am so depressed because of, and get to the root underneath the why, like, I think so many people, especially in the West, want to pathologize themselves and just say, "Oh, well, I have anxiety. Oh, I have depression." You're experiencing depression because of a deeper wound that you're not addressing. And that is the physical manifestation of some emotion that needs to be uprooted and removed so that you can live a more harmonious life. So that's the connection I see. That when I've had people on my table relive pretty intense details of abusive situations, and then they get up off the table and they just seem lighter, like there's some type of weightlessness that has encountered them in a different way than other sessions. And so I do believe that there's something very healing about speaking our wounds, not so that they have power, but to literally remove their power, remove the isolation, remove the shame that we find ourselves in, that we just lock ourselves in those doors and we stay there stuck mentally, but physically it's showing itself as something completely different. You know, someone who's completely full of rage, you know, man, well, he might be sad that his dad left or died, and so he didn't have that father role, and so his sadness will manifest as anger. So I see those connections in all of those things because I've seen it in my clients. Even if science can't quantitate why it happens yet, I know that it does because I've seen it, even if I can't explain it. So that's kind of where I'm at now, is trying to find research and books that give a little bit more language to help me understand that connection. Things like the mind-body connection or the molecules of emotion. Those are both pretty scientific books that explore that connection. So there's a lot of research on it, and I don't have an answer for all of the why, but I do know that it's there.
Yeah.
Want some water?
Okay, so Jennifer, what is your opinion about self-care? What role does self-care play in your daily routine, especially considering the emotionally demanding work you do?
Yeah, well, I think that self-care is important. You can't pour from an empty cup. If you don't have anything that's filling you up, how are you going to give from what you don't actually have excess of? I think that knowing what your purpose is and helping others, for me at least, I've seen that be some of the most helpful building up of your reserves. You know, when I serve people, I feel charged. There's still times where, you know, I need to go take a nap and eat a meal and spend some time with, you know, my family after I've been at a birth. But there's something very rewarding about serving others if you're doing it from a place of I want to and not I feel obligated. If you are a people pleaser and you say yes to everything, you're not going to find the same joy in that. You actually have to be able to find the joy in saying no. And no is a complete sentence. You don't have to explain your no. Sometimes no is just no.
Yeah,
No, thank you.
exactly.
I appreciate the offer, but no, thank you. I don't need to come with you to that thing. That it sounds like fun, but I don't want to weekend away. I'd rather have a quiet weekend at home. Like, learn what fills you up might not fill me up.
Exactly.
And
I
being
agree
able
with
to,
your point.
again, ask those questions of yourself, because one of the things I say is unsaid expectations are a recipe for unmet expectations. If you can't say what you need, then no one else can ever help you achieve that for you. Like, especially in a relationship or in a therapeutic relationship, I tell my clients, you know, I do a different type of massage. If you're expecting a traditional massage, I am more than happy to refer you to those people because I want you to have what your brain wants, but that's not what I do. That's not what I do. And I'm not going to pretend that's what I do, but what I do, I think can help you. So here's what I do, here's why I do it, here's the thought process behind it. And then they have the opportunity to say, hey, I would actually still like to book that appointment. That sounds like exactly what I want. Or, oh, you know, I was actually just looking for something fun for me to, you know, go do while I'm in town. I'm not looking for like setting up therapy. Okay, then I suggest this therapist in town. She's wonderful. I would to do that type of work, you too, I would say. So, know what your gifts are and know what your talents are, and learn how to use them in a positive correlation with each other. I think is very, very helpful. So self-care is needed, but you also can't think
Yeah.
of only yourself. So you
Yeah.
have to realize, like, what is the proportional amount of how much me time I need in a day, in a week, in a month, in a year,
Yeah.
versus how
Self
much
care
can
is
I
needed.
give without overextending myself.
Yeah, Jennifer, you are absolutely right. Self care is our need. Even we can say it is our basic need.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now I will not take more time of you. I'm about to wind up this session, but before that, I would like to give a beautiful message, suggestion, or advice, whatever you want to give to my audience.
Oh, well, wonderful. Every time someone asks me this, I go through like a Rolodex of things that my dad said to us when we were kids. Um, I would just say that, you know, don't take advice from people you don't want your life to look like. Be careful who you choose as mentors. The people who are the ones that are going to be the most helpful to you in life are the ones that are going to teach you how to have a good character independent of their business skills. So don't pick somebody who's just the best at business. You want someone who is full of integrity in every way, not just one way. And in that way, you will find someone who can teach you not just about business, but how to be the best version of yourself, which I think is a much more important definition of success.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for beautiful advice and also for your valuable time and valuable insights. Take care of
Well, thank you
yourself and
so much for
goodbye.
having me. Hopefully, you enjoy the music in the background. Little music box. She loves
Yeah,
music. So
yeah.
just,
At the end, she is
dance it
playing music.
out. She cracks
Okay,
me up. So
nice
thank you
to
for your
talk to
time.
you,
I
really.
appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.